Greetings, everyone. Rev.Hawksblood here. Just let me get this open. All right. I'm hoping my co-host can come in. Well, she's been having a lot of problems and trouble in England getting on the show with her computer, with the internet. Uh, well, we'll see. But in the interim, I want to start the show. And if there's any questions pertaining to the topics, please go in and put a comment there. And if it's really important, I can bring you on. But let's start at the beginning. I've been involved in the UFO world all my life. Tina has basically as well. She's getting a lot of publicity. She's becoming really popular among the world. So she's going on tour with a bunch of scientists soon. She's doing a lot of UFO conferences. So I'm glad for her. But she's been sick on and off. And hopefully she's not sick today. I hope it's just freaking whoever's playing with her equipment. But she has UFOs over her house every night. Well, I went out this morning and filmed so many ships. It was incredible. We were supposed to have a meteor shower. Well, I ended up seeing about 25 meteorites in about a half hour. But again, the ships are not meteorites and they're not satellites or planes. So I want to get into a couple of things. There's about 25 shows out there on UFOs, aliens, Bigfoot, spiritual, psychic things as well. But basically, I'm complaining about the UFO world because basically, when you listen to these shows, they make everything sound like maybes, and nobody knows nothing. That's so far from the truth, people. If you believe that, you're in the wrong place, wrong time. All right, the world right now is releasing a lot of UFO stuff around the world in different countries. Even Russia already admitted it, that they're working with aliens. But as far as the United States, we'll see what Trump does. All right, he probably, who knows if he talks to Putin. Putin already told him that they're working with aliens and he wanted him to tell the world what they're doing. We'll see what happens with that. But the thing is, all you hear is lies and stories. Who started the UFO world, where it happened, what happened. Even actually when Roswell happened, all right, 3 ships were taken down, and you never heard any other stories about the 2 other ships. I was with Hopi Elder, whose grandfather was one of the 3 men that were younger when they had a ship crash, and they went to it, and they took the alien, and they stayed with him for 9 months. A ship came down and took the alien away later. But they lived up in the mountains with him, and he did his thesis in college on that, and won a special, not the Nobel Prize, but something really high up on that. But I went on a vision quest with him, and we ended up seeing a ship come over us, and a lot of things happened on that. I was working for the phone company. They ended up trying to say I got hurt on a UFO for real. A whole nother story. But I've been dealing with this all my life. Sure, I've been called crazy probably more than anybody else because I started when I was little. So I got used to that. But before I leave this world, I want the world to know aliens are real. And it's going to happen. I mean, if I don't die tomorrow, but hopefully within a year or 2 max. It's so open, so many UFOs everywhere. Tina has ships over her house every night. I have ships over me all night, but usually it's cloudy, so I can't get to see anything. But if it's a little bit clear here and there, I can go out and see multiple things happening. But I got maybe about 10 people in the neighborhood looking at the sky, watching things that are happening. Hold on, let me just see what's happening. All right, so getting back to these shows, Ancient Aliens, are they real or not? The truth is out there. All these things, they're trying to prove nothing. They're not proving anything about real aliens. They're not proving anything about real UFOs. I mean, the real word UFOs, unidentified flying object. they'll go that far, but they won't say anything about like who's driving it. And all these famous people, I can name a few, but the ones that I deal with the most or have been is all the people from Skinwalker Ranch that know nothing. All right. Then we got Ancient Aliens. People from that know nothing. Richard Dolan has his site up, and he's one of the top speakers and stuff as well. And they lecture at these conferences. A lot of other names that are really big go on about nothing. You know, when a person says, well, I think, I don't ever use that word. I'm really cautious in saying it because I know what I say is real. And I don't say things that I don't know are real. And Tina is real, and everything she says is real. She's becoming a top UFO speaker on abduction because she was and has multiple proof, more than any other UFO person that says they've been abducted. Now, I'm going to go into a couple things, try to keep this all together. The other problem is people saying their experiences, meaning they were taken by aliens and traveled the universe or cities, countries, whatever they want to call them. They were shown around the universe and given all this stuff, but they come back with zero proof. All right. Now, I'm going to tell you straight out. Aliens are not good. There is no good alien race. I don't care what you believe, who told you, who wrote they are, what people said. Zachariah Sitchin was a little bit screwed up when he wrote his book. He didn't know truth from a lie. He created his own story, which is so far from the truth. All right, and I'm not going to go into all the reasons about that right now. But what I'm going to go into is these people in the UFO world, you know, they get paid to do one of those UFO conferences, $15,000, $20,000. To do what? A 2-hour lecture and to sit down with everybody for dinner on a Friday night. All right. I never got to that point. I'm hated more than anybody in the UFO world because I challenge them all. And they won't debate me live. They're afraid they'll lose their credibility and then they'll lose their way of making money. I challenge everybody, including psychics in the room that are really famous, like Bashar, another loser. These people tell stories and make up fantasies and then try to put us in it and say, well, this is real. These aliens are telling us the truth. They never did, never will. All right. You want to see a real alien interrogation. It's online, still online, never took it off. The alien interrogation, it's 3 parts. Pull it up, watch it. That's a real alien they're interrogating. Whitney Schreiber is on it. He's there. What did they do to the aliens? What did they do to the aliens? He was abducted. Said he was abducted when he was younger as well. But it's real. And I'm not going to go into details, but I put myself on the line and saying that is real. It wasn't created like the alien operations and things like that. But here's the thing, people. When people come out and talk about somebody's experience, they make it sound like they had it. Oh, well, they want you to listen to the story, but it's their interpretation of what happened. You see an alien, you see a ship, which I did both. I was next to an alien, I was next to a ship, I was next to Bigfoot. I mean, all those things. It's like, well, it was okay, the alien popped out. You know, it changes your life, it changes the way you think. And then when Bud Hopkins was alive, he did a lot of interviews, and he never saw a UFO, never saw an alien, but he wrote more books about it and everything else. But he hypnotized people and worked with them. But his viewpoint, how can you have a viewpoint when you never saw a ship, never saw an alien? I mean, it's like, what's God? Ask everybody what God really looks like, what it is, or anything. They can't answer it. They have zero experience in that. So if you watch my spiritual shows that I do, uh, about spiritualism and the search for quest for truth. But everything I say, I put my life on the line and live by it and tell you it's the truth. I'm not dreaming, I'm not fantasizing. I proved it to myself over and over. I had many people that were top psychics that worked with me that agreed and helped me see some things that I really didn't even see when I was going through things. But these people that go to these conferences, it all sounds good. It sounds like a fun time. There's nothing fun about aliens, people. They don't come here and help us. They're not doing anything beneficial for the planet. They never did. And they're not waiting to help us, people. The biggest lie that everybody puts out. Well, even Trump said it recently. Well, they're not ready for aliens yet. Putin already told him to tell the truth. But Trump says, I don't believe him. His son interviewed him. And he said, well, and he created a Space Force, which already existed, the day after he met Putin. I wonder why. Putin already told them that they were working with many alien races, and Putin actually told Trump 2 alien races want to destroy the planet. Well, people, you don't hear people in the UFO world talking about the truth about what the Army and government and Navy and Marines and all they're doing. But the most important story about that is Phil Snyder's story. Pull it up. It was a real person. He really got blasted by an alien. They killed about 67 Green Berets when he went down into this hole where they were. And it was a horrible thing that they found there, except they all got killed except him. And he proved it when he came out. And then later, within months, they had to take him out. They said he committed suicide, which he didn't. Again, people, in the government, when they want to remove people, not the government per se, MJ12 is the right name, and the people that work for them. Make sure nobody knows what's really going on in the UFO world. To keep it secret for over 50 years, that's incredible. But I'll tell you this, in 1996, 100 UFO people were taken out. And in my life, the past time of my work in the UFO world and stuff, I lost 16 good friends in the UFO world and 2 whole families. All right. And I say that, and people, when it went to Congress with another liar, storyteller, Stephen Greer, who's the most foolish, crazy liar in the UFO world, goes on about his stories, claiming this, that, and he always adds to it now. I mean, recently he said he met with an alien and all that, but it's all lies and twisted, because he just wants fame, fortune, and money. All right, but try to disclosure. The only person that's going to disclose this disclosure are aliens. If they want it open, they will release it. But, people say, well, if they wanted to kill us, they could. Of course they could. If you're a farmer and you got a cow farm and a chicken farm and all that, you're going to go out and kill all the chickens and cows? Why would you? You're a moron. I mean, way back, money was really bad, and the farmers wanted more money, and they started killing all their cattle. But no, reality, all creatures, good, bad, or indifferent, need one thing: food. Sure, air and water, but food. All right. And they're here for only a few reasons, but food is a big part of it, people. Nobody talks about that. I'm not going to go into all the stories that I know are real, because I experienced a few of them. But in reality, what's going on for real? What are they really doing? The government. Well, you know how it's called trade? We'll give you something if you give us something. The same, Tibet begged every country for help. Nobody helped them, then China destroyed them and took them over. The United States is one that doesn't help anybody unless they get something back. And that's pretty sad, claiming that we're the most compassionate country and all those other words they might want to use. It's no longer in existence with Mr. Rumpo. All right. He's destroying everything. Every aspect of goodness in reality in the United States, he's destroying it. Now, people that think he's good have a serious problem. They're not watching him. They don't listen to what he did and what he does. They're reopening 9/11. I'm not sorry, 9/11, the Washington deal in January. We'll see what happens then. Hopefully it'll be a little more real about what happened. You know, how much does Trump know about the real UFO world? Because when he said he created the Space Force, for what reason? He's trying to save money. Well, eliminate. There's no aliens out there. Why would you create a Space Force if you don't believe in aliens? All right. But on the other hand, we're releasing a UFO ship. Costs $44 billion. It has multiple weapons on it, created by Tesla. All right. I don't know what Tina is. I don't even have a message from her. I hope she's okay. I always worry about her. She's radioactive, people. People don't even want to know or hear that. And the sad part is it goes up and down, which is impossible for radiation. But we bought Geiger counters in the beginning of, we worked together for 6 years. In the beginning, and she bought another one a couple of years later, and then she bought another one recently. All to prove that it goes off for radiation on her body. All right, she goes to the hospital a lot. She's in the hospital a lot. They're doing all kinds of things to her, finding all kinds of things that are not normal or right. But they won't admit anything else other than she's sick. But I mean, if she comes back on anytime soon, I'll let her finish that story. But read her book. It's out there. All right. I just move her picture. Well, it's out there. Tina Bird. She has a couple books, but her UFO book is really important. All right. If you want to understand about abduction, and she's probably going to do part 2 of that. Hold on 1 second. I got to let my little munchkin in. Sorry about that. My little guy usually likes to sit next to me when I'm doing a show. But she's been having trouble for I'd say the past 3 or 4 weeks, we've been having trouble with our show. I'm not going to say the government's doing it, but something's doing it. She was on the internet. Everything was fine. Right before the show, it went out. And she couldn't get internet or anything. And that was last week. So we'll see what happens. But for me, I'm dealing with these. I wish I could say all the words I would like to call these people: liars, storytellers, or what they are. Now, when whistleblowers come out, they're coming out what? 25 years later, 30 years later. You know, if you're a person with brains, feelings, emotions, compassion, you find something that's different, wrong, or important, what do? Forget it? No, you bring it out. Not 25 years later, not 30 years later, not later than that even, because you're afraid. Well, that just proves that you're not telling the truth. Because 25 years from now, to try to tell the same story is pretty bad because you don't remember half of the things or in detail what you knew when you did it or when it happened. So all the things that are coming out are trying to prove UFOs are real, which I did when I was 6 years old. I did it when I was 12 years old. And from then on, every year I proved it over and over and over because I probably saw, and I'm not even going to say a number because it's multiple thousands of ships I saw. Well, I never even saw one. Well, because you're not involved with it, you don't put your attention on it. and you weren't pulled into it like I was. All right. I didn't want to be involved with UFOs or aliens ever. It wasn't my idea. Well, I want to follow aliens. I always liked robots. That was my interest all my childhood. I thought robots are cool. I mean, Musk's new robot looks pretty incredible what it does. But I went to school, and one of the people in my school, in high school, made a 6-foot robot that did multiple commands. And that was in 68, somewhere around there. All right. I was in school with the person that invented laser photography as well. In the same year, I was in school with the same person that invented the moon probe. Yeah, their fathers helped them. I did everything in all my science fair projects myself. But people I've been around, the coolest, the worst. But what I can't stand are liars. We know UFOs are real. We know Chinese and Russians aren't driving ships over us. UFOs. If they were, they would be considered a terrorist attack, and we would shoot it down. All right, we did shoot many UFOs down. All right, like the one in Long Island. Well, I saw the video. It was the best video ever taken of a UFO that crashed on the ground. All right. For 3 weeks, they blocked the whole part of Long Island off. They had trailers going in and out of it, black trailers. Why would you bring a black trailer? Because they had it on fire. You wouldn't bring them into a fire. Well, if they were moving all the debris as much as they could, they tried to burn down the whole area where the ship crashed. So in the interim, he's in the nut house still today. They're claiming he had uranium and he was going to kill people in Congress. His name's John Ford. All right, pull it up. I mean, they're twisting him and twisting him, what he says, what people say, different things about him. But I saw the video. He shipped it around the world to 4 countries. Said if I die, release this video. He should have did that in 1996. Nothing would have happened to him. But he didn't. So guess what? They framed him, said he was going to kill people in government by putting uranium in their toothpaste and stuff. And that was all over TV in New York and New Jersey, where I live. So he's in Long Island, that house. Every year he was trying to go to court. And the trial was set up, but the government comes in, says he needs to be reevaluated, which means one more year that they are going to reevaluate him. So we're talking from 1996, and he still can't get out, still can't go to court. And that video is not public, which it should have been out there a long time ago. And I don't even see why they don't put it out now, because guess what? It would help him if he got out, and then when he goes to court, he could show an actual video, which they don't want anybody to see. But it's just one person. The rest of my friends were killed, not just put in a nut house. All right. Pull it up online. I don't make up stories. And I'm not going to the whole, I was going to go see him in the nut house in Long Island. And I went to a friend's house. My friend brought me there. I didn't know it was FEMA. And they told me, look, you go to see him, your family will be taken out, and then they'll come after you. And that was a threat. So, again, I never got to see him in Long Island in the nut house where he is. But get into these other people claiming all these things. You know, now it's accepted that people can say it. I mean, you're not called crazy if you say it. I mean, just they're called a dreamer or something else. All right. But in the interim, the whistleblowers that have truth feed more into it. Because, you know, way back, I was good friends with a person, top psychic, top in the UFO world as well, Sean David Martin. Well, he actually discovered Area 51. He was bringing a van of people, anywhere from 4 to 6 people in a van and going up to the mountain and filming the base and filming or watching the mothership come in. And it came in twice a month. All right. They snagged them up there, and then they had to buy all that land and put the fences around it and make it government property and all that kind of stuff. But for a while, he was doing that. I mean, he got on TV. He was trying to bring Montel Williams up there. He didn't go when he was invited, and then he went and said, "Oh, I know the 4-star general. Nothing's going on there." So people get paid off easily in the UFO world. Sadly for Sean, they arrested him and framed him with 150 charges false. And during that time frame, while he was in jail, I don't want to get into the whole story, but while he was in jail, they did everything they could to take him out. And they finally had to release him because he came down with cancer. And he was dying. So, people, UFO world is changing now. There's just too many people everywhere releasing videos, releasing pictures, and talking. But in the UFO conventions, you get the people that like to talk. And they call themselves experiencers. Another sad thing in the UFO world. These people believe and tell their story. Well, they met with an alien race and they were taken on a ship and they were brought through the universe and shown and blah, blah, blah. First up, your body can't go through it unless they do certain things to you. All right, you wouldn't be smiling and dancing and whatever. Second of all, none of them come back one shred of proof or even a piece of information or artifact or anything other than these great stories. Now, to show you how bad it is, Tesla is the one person I know for a fact that actually worked with an alien race. They gave him 200 inventions. 50 of them he gave to the United States government. It's on the planet. And that's it for that. But people, when we go to watch these movies and UFO shows, they're going to show you probably the best picture of what supposedly happened. But then they'll give it to some asshole, for a word, top filmer, analyzer, top UFO expert in his field. How can you be an expert in your field if you never saw a UFO? Never touched one, never was near one. And you're the top expert on it? Really? I had one in my yard. This guy claimed that the people that they bring the videos to and say, analyze this. Well, it's got this kind of a problem and it's got that problem. Just because it doesn't fit our system, how our DNA works, how atoms and protons and neutrons and electrons work and all those kind of things, doesn't make it fake. And they always will say a natural event caused by atmospheric pressure, magnetic fields, and they'll give it every other description other than what it truly is. First up, no ship basically can travel anything close to the speed of light. All right, they can make it to the speed of sound, but they can't make it to the speed of light. All right, and a lot of UFOs can when they want to. I'm going to say this. I filmed with a partner of mine, whom we're no longer friends, more UFOs than anybody else in the United States from 1996 all the way to 2002. A couple years later, we did a show on Kerry Cassidy for 9 months. And we put pictures of UFOs up every week, 5 pictures that we shot, all real. Nobody harassed us. I don't know why. But they were going to charge me, it was my show, so they were going to charge me $50 to do a show. I said, I'm doing a show. I'm not getting paid. I'm not going to pay $50 to do a show. But at that time, my partner at the time and I had a big fight over who else other than Sean David Martin. And it ended our friendship. But then again, I'll say this. He sold out. he became a spiritual person. Now he claims he's Jesus' disciple and he's on a special mission. But for the longest time, I had to listen to him lie to me every week. We spent every other day hours working where Tesla worked with DuPont up in a particular area, going on government land that said you will get shot if you get caught here and all that. But we filmed creatures, entities, beings of all kind of weird shapes, sizes, and including UFOs. All right. But again, we did that for a long time. And it didn't seem like anybody really cared about what a UFO really looked like. And we had multiple pictures of different kinds of ships. And that was from 96. All right. We did a movie, TV show, Strange Universe. He put an incredible video up of a UFO stopping, shooting out 3 ships and taking off. We filmed that. All right. Now, the week after that show was on the air, Strange Universe, it was taken off. But the year was 1996 or 7. I'm not even sure of the actual date. But it was the year Phil Snyder was taken out. John Ford was put in a nut house. And like I said, 100 UFO people were taken out as well. The UFO world is locked and it's controlled. And those people, even when Art Bell was doing his show, these people come on, well, I can blah, 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 but I can't say this. They can't say that. They can't tell you the truth. So hearing part of the truth is useless if you can't hear the whole part of it. And a lot of them couldn't say that, or they know they would be taken out or lose their money or whatever the situation is, but they always limit what they can say or do. Even Lou Elizondo is claiming he can't say a lot of things, but I don't think he knows a lot of things. I got him to say he'd come on my show, but I didn't get in touch with him for a long time now, because now supposedly he'll be working for the government again, under Trump's rulership, dictatorship. All right. Again, Trump will put out what he wants. If it's going to make him famous, he'll put it out. To be the first person to release UFOs, and you know where that would put him? Releasing the biggest secret that exists on the planet. No matter how bad or good he is. Like he's talking about changing the marijuana laws. He's going to do things to get more people to follow him, good, bad, or indifferent. He doesn't care, but the people that don't like him, he's working on taking them out in government, politics, and all that. So we're in trouble. Aliens are here. And they did work with our government. I don't know how they're working. I'm not in anymore. Dealing with the person I dealt with is dead. All right. The people that I did are all gone. But what I'm saying is, what they're working with now, when they release this spaceship, I'm going to tell you straight out, it probably can take a country out within a couple minutes. Tesla's weapons were deadly. He created an earthquake machine in 1900 before he kind of disappeared, which was he went to New York City in a hotel. But he was working on a doomsday weapon and things like that. You don't hear much about that part of it. After he died, they sent a lot of his stuff to his country and made a museum, a Tesla museum. But it doesn't have all the important things like all the weapons he created. And one of the worst things is the HARP system, directed energy beams. Yeah, he created it all. No, he didn't. His brain wasn't as big as people believe it to be, the same as Einstein's brain wasn't as big or important as people think it is or was. He was wrong about a lot of things, but he was working with aliens in a different state, not a dream state, an altered state. Tesla worked with physical aliens in a physical body, And that's the most important UFO story that happened where he was working. And nobody in UFO world could talk about it. I do. When I do a show here and there, I'll throw parts of it in. Because it's the most important part of the UFO world that's covered up. What really happened. And what the government knew way back then. So it's not like they forget or forgot all about aliens or anything like that. Now, I'm throwing this all in because I'll tell you things that these people cannot tell you or will talk about. We're having wars with aliens. We did and are. And can they tell the world that? Are they going to tell the public that? They're worried about Russia and China. Oh, but we're fighting aliens too. Well, Russia's fighting them too, just so you know. When Putin met Trump way back, he said, look, we're dealing with alien races, but two of them want to destroy the planet. And he told Trump that. And the day after, he created the Space Army, Space Force. So people, I don't do this show for fun. I'm not doing it to make money. I'm not doing it to become famous or anything because people don't want the truth. I'm sure if people wanted the truth, I'd have a lot more people. People love fairy tale stories. You listen to these people in the UFO world, they tell a great story. But how often do you hear they're eating their family or eating this or something happened? Now, the facts are out there, people, if you want to look for them. Meaning, if you go, there's a few books out there and you should pull them up because people did research on the amount of people that disappear in public parks. They don't even report it. They don't have to put signs up saying how many people. I'm in Hawaii, and I went to Rainbow River just last week. Got a big sign there saying 28 people died there. All right, when you go in a park, and if 10 people went missing, it should be a sign on that park knowing that it's a possibility it could happen to you. But they don't have to. And there's multiple thousands of people go missing in the state parks in the United States. Meaning cars there on top of a mountain and the family's gone. How's that possible? They didn't fall off the cliff. If they did, their bodies would be there. All those kind of things. And you don't hear it and nobody talks about it. The important things that are happening, like how many people are really getting abducted in a week's time now, is nobody has a number. Hold on 1 second. I don't know. It seems like interruptions over the show. But the problem is when you experience something, nobody can take that away from you. And I experience a lot more things in the UFO world. On the spiritual side, my life is 1,000 times better. Sorry about that, people. Well, where do we want to go from here? I could say all the names of all the people that are telling you stories that are making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 at conferences and things like that. It started with like 5,000, then it went to 10,000, then it went to 15,000. Then I knew a friend 20 years ago was doing a conference and they wanted $20,000 to speak. Today, who knows? It's probably like a third or at least half, maybe a quarter, I don't know, of whatever the conference is going to take in. Because they're the main speakers. They have 20, 30, 40 speakers but one of them or two of them are usually the main speakers. They get paid the top dollar. The other ones do not. So usually people from TV get paid a lot of money. But some of them, the speaker from coast to coast, he knows nothing about nothing. I wouldn't invite him to a UFO conference, never mind have him be the main speaker and things like that. Well, you talk to people all day that have been abducted, have been this and all that. But so what? You're just a speaker. I'd rather talk to the people that have been abducted, the people that actually experience the things. I don't hear hearsay and people telling other people's stories. All right? All these people never saw a UFO even. I'm telling you, you could go out in 1 week, if you watch the sky, if it's clear for a week, you're going to see a UFO. Tell you straight out, you will. Got to put a couple hours out there. And be in a place where the sky is dark and you can see stars and the light's not affecting everything. But then again, I saw so many ships during the day. I was at a birthday party, pool party, and there was about 25 people there, and this ship was over us for maybe 10 minutes. And nobody had a camera. This was before everybody had a cell phone, but one person was driving home to get a camera and come back, but by the time it came back, it was gone. It went straight out. I watched it the whole time. Big orb came down, stayed a couple thousand feet above us, didn't do anything, and then shot straight out into space again. And I'm not talking about the good experience, and that's just one little one. But people, you want to see a UFO, go out for a whole week. At night, I'd say between 3 and 5. All right? And you're going to see something. But don't stare at a star. Don't stare at anything. Keep your eyes open and full view of the sky so you can see everything happening. Because when something moves, it'll make your eye go to it. But if you're staring at a star and something's moving, you're not going to notice it half as much. Simple thing, how you focus when you're looking at the sky at night. But people, ask yourself, how much do you care about aliens? How much do you care about UFOs? What do you want to know? And does it really matter to you? Is it going to be life-changing, or is it going to make you be different, or whatever? Is that what you want? Or are you just curious? Because there's different reasons. And aliens feel your energy. Good, better, and different. And here's another thing that they do. If they want you to film them, they let you. If they don't, you don't film them. So, but people come back, well, I was on a ship and we went to this place and we saw this beautiful city, and really? And where was that city, planet? All right. You know, these people exaggerate. You know, as the world today, as far as planets out there, livable, we know this too. That can be lit, but one's 2 light years away. The other one's probably within our, or right around our galaxy. All right. But people, do you care? People, well, we want disclosure. We want to know. You want to know that it's real, but you don't want to know what they do. It's like saying, I want to know the story about Jack the Ripper, but I don't want to know what he actually did. Really? What do you want the story for then? If you don't want to know why aliens have always been here, and even Zachariah Sitchin twisted that story, many people in the UFO world twisted the story. Aliens did not come here to mine gold. Sorry, people. Complete lie. They always could make gold way before planet Earth was being infested by them. We can make gold right now. Just so you know, it costs more money to make it than it's valued after it's made, but we can make it. But their technology has always been thousands of years more advanced than ours. How the pyramids and all the other things, and well, it could be, I think aliens helped them, and you know, everything's I think. Do you know anything, people? Do you know anything about history? Do you know what races were originally here? How they got here? Science can't even talk about that. How a human really got here. And it wasn't through I don't know, all the stupid theories they put out there. Evolution. Man didn't change ever. Man was brought here as a man, not an animal, a bug, a cell, an enigma, whatever those words are for those little creatures. But here's the thing, people. There was 9 races that were brought to this planet. 5 races left. 4 are still here. Black, yellow, red, and white. All right. Now, we were all the same. We didn't have 2 heads, 10 arms, 10 feet, whatever we want, 50 feet tall. Giants were not us, and we didn't come from the giants. There were multiple giant races here as well. You're going to build a building for an ant. How big would you want to build it? A story high? If you're building a building for a person that's 10 feet high, how big would the building have to be? If you're building a building for a person 20 feet high, how big would the building have to be? No, if you're building a pyramid for one person, all the time and energy, all the people that died, for one person to build that, it has to be a really sick reason. All the ideas about the Egyptians, the Mayans, Aztecs, they all work with aliens. They all sacrificed human women and children to them. All of them did. All right. The teachings they got from the alien races were total lies. Nothing in the pyramids show anything real about reincarnation. What they did to the bodies are all lies. These people that tell the stories like they know what it is or think they know what it is, and they exaggerate the truth. Well, it's anything but the truth, people. All these big name people on Ancient Aliens, Skinwalker Ranch, and all these shows, they get a few movie stars that are doing the hosting for a lot of the shows. They know nothing. I know Henry Winkler was involved with a UFO special, and I tried to get in touch with him to see, and he never replies to anything. I mean, he's a year younger than me. But again, people with an ego live with an ego. I've been trying to get in touch with Musk for 9 months already. All right. I tried 22 years to get in touch with Oprah. All right. And they've come up with stories, well, we found this person, blah, blah, blah. And everything they say is a lie. Even when Oprah came out with this guy had his tooth pulled, root canal done without being stuff injected into his gum, which was a lie. She made it the biggest story. Everything you hear, I'm telling you, 90% of it's a lie or twisted. Even when somebody says they love you, for what? Ask them to write down everything, the reasons why they love you. And then you'll find out which ones are real and which ones aren't. And love is not the most important thing on this planet, people. And in a New Age world, which is a little bit separated from the UFO world, they believe in aliens and they believe in Ashtar Command and all those kind of words. All right. Another fake program accepted by people. Millions of people. So, the idea, pull up how to create. The first thing it says is create a powerful God. All right. Then you create a religion. The Galactic Confederation is a great program. Their stories and what they say are going to happen never happen. But what they say, it happened in a different dimension. Well, then it's not really happening here, is it? All these so-called spiritual, I don't know if you know Billy Myers. He came out a long time ago with his UFO videos and pictures and everything else, and he gave a prophecy of 100 prophecies, which 98 came true. But he had an incredible following, and they would do meditations and play music and get stoned out with sounds of ships of UFOs and stuff, his followers. Really bizarre. Kind of underground cult following Billy Myers as well. But his whole story was about these ships that went around circles over his house, and he filmed it. I mean, it looked like a string with a ship on it going around a tree over and over. And all his things never really proved much of anything. I mean, famous people went out there, including my good friend did, trying to buy him, and they brought him to New York, California. They tried to keep him there, but he wanted to go back. But his story, he had one arm. He did his filming with one arm. He did a lot of his stuff with one arm. Pretty incredible. He even made a fake spaceship that looked like what he was filming. When Shirley MacLaine went out there, tried to buy him out. And all these people tried to pull him into their lane and make fame with him and everything else. But the UFO world is not a good thing. It never will be. No good aliens are going to come here. And now there's a difference. Don't ask Christianity what it is, but there's a difference between entities and aliens. Now, aliens do drive a ship. I'm not saying how far into the future they are, but they do drive in a ship. And now the new word, which my ex-partner and I brought out in 1997, ORBS, orbs. We lectured for a couple of years, and we also taught people how to film them at night or day and different things. And we would film them wherever we went, in front of all the people and stuff like that. And now it's a big thing. But the government's afraid to use the word orbs. They say these things are drones. All right. I mean, I watched so many ships go right through the ground without putting a hole in it or anything. We had multiple people, my ex-partner and his wife, girlfriend, different things. We were always seeing incredible things. So, but for them to say, oh no, they're drones. Drones can't travel at the speed of light or even the speed of sound. All right. Maybe the technology is going to get there soon. But as far as what they're calling drones, they're orbs. They're entities and beings. I mean, it could actually be a ship for an alien civilization that use these from their ship. I mean, they don't go back to their home base, but they go back to the ship in an orb. And they don't have to be a specific size, which we proved in a couple of years that we were doing that. Size doesn't mean anything. We base everything on our size. How big a human is, that's how big an alien is. No, that's how big this is. I mean, when a spaceship, well, a mothership came over Hawaii, it was over 2 blocks long. All right. And it didn't make any big news or anything, but it actually blocked out 2 blocks as well when it was flying over, and it was really low. So, getting back to size, you see the picture on the cover of my show? That ship was about this big. We're in the middle of the woods, and when that came out, something invisible was running down the river in back of that. Splash, 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 splash. My partner was screaming, film it, just keep filming, just keep filming. And that's when I shot a couple of those pictures. But it came right up to me, and then it kind of just zoomed out into space. But it was only this big. It looked like a beer can. And if you look at the picture, it's kind of what it looks like. But size, what was in it? What kind of being? Can they change size? Well, you know, which we don't anymore. We did way back in Atlantis, but we don't have them anymore. All right, teleportation, going through walls, going through doors and windows and things like that. Being able to psychically read you from up in a spaceship. All right, doesn't make them God either. And aliens were always called gods, the same as deities were called gods. And our limited definition of God just says super powerful. All right. So if you were powerful, you were a God. I mean, people that were psychic or astrologists that knew like the moon phases and things like that go into town and say, I'm going to make the moon disappear. I'm going to make the sun disappear. I'm going to make it go. I mean, and they would win the whole town over and sell something stupid to them. Some magical cure for sickness and things like that, and then leave real fast. But people, you want to believe things. Don't want to believe lies. Believe the truth. Aliens do eat people. Aliens do have sex with humans as well. All right, wanted or not. But again, people, they're not here to teach you anything good. They're not going to teach you about God, which they do not have a clue. They believe they are. When ego takes over the consciousness, it grows more powerful within itself, thinking it's better and greater than everybody else. And that's the first step that pulls you out of any kind of spiritual connection that you have. And the one that's responsible for that is not an alien. And it's the same being that Jesus had to face, and his name's Satan. And Satan is not Lucifer, people. And the Luciferians are just a ridiculous cult. No powers, believing they're following Lucifer. And whether they kill people, use blood, and all those things, that's their choice. But it doesn't make them spiritual. Doesn't make them good. People, I've been in it all. I was a high priest when I was 17. And I was challenging people in the mob and different high priests of the mob and different kind of people. Good power is more powerful than bad power. But there's no good power on planet Earth right now. Satan's the power. He controls armies that go to people's consciousness and wins them over and all that. You think babies that just walk out and then throw their cat out the window are just doing it because they just don't know better? It's engraved when they're born. I'm not going to go into all the ideas of reincarnation and all that right now. It's a totally different subject. But these people that go out and speak and lecture to you, telling you, well, the government didn't know this or the government knows that, but they're not going to tell us. Well, they know everything. There's nothing about UFOs and aliens they don't know. They know how to kill Greys. They know how to kill reptilians. They know how to kill the Nordics. They know how to kill them all. They know how to fight with them is what I'm saying, people. And one particular race that worked with Tesla gave him 200 inventions that would take us from where we are to a new level, but it will also slowly destroy us. I'm going to tell you something that no person in the UFO world will probably tell you. Aliens, two races want to live here. But one thing, they need the world radioactive. So guess what? When we have a nuclear war, then they might move down. But the U.S. government has been cloning Greys for real for that reason. Because if a radiation bomb hits the United States and the whole United States is radioactive, everybody on top of the planet will be dead. But they built multiple underground cities, which is real, people. And they already have like 10,000 people in each one of them already. Underground, hydroponics, and water and all those kind of things for them. If it becomes radioactive, the planet, they'll send their little programmed Greys out to clean it up. Because it's going to take a long time to clean it. I mean, they came out with some things that can actually slowly remove radiation. But in the interim, they're going to have these Greys go out and do that. I actually saw a video of them, how they clone the Greys. It's gross, but it's real. can't get this phone. Sorry about that. It's a medical plan, but I can't take it now. I have to leave it on. I'm a caregiver and I take care of a person and all kinds of things. I have to be there in an emergency. All right. People, I'm not going to go any further. But I want you to realize all those shows are programming your mind and your subconscious to believe things. The government's not as bad. I mean, Trump's bad, but the government's not that bad. They're fighting with aliens. If they didn't, the world would have been pretty much destroyed already. And that's the truth. Now, I could go into about Tesla because that's one of the most important things, what's going to happen and what did happen. But the Philadelphia experiment was real. What they created after that is real. The deadly weapons are real. Time travel is real. So there's a lot going on. Pull up as much information on Denver Airport as you can and you'll be mind-boggled. Your mind will explode with what they actually discovered, what it is, and all that. Behold the Pale Horse is actually a person that wrote all about it when it was made. But it's a lot more incredible now what happened. Denver Airport, pull it up while they closed part of it down and everything else. All right, people. Tommy Hawksblood here, calling from the Big Island, Hawaii. I'm sorry my co-host didn't come around or is around. I hope she's okay. Probably just trouble with her internet. But till next time, I probably will do another show this week. What's left of it. On spiritual truth. On taking that step and moving from there. All right, people. Heard it here first. Don't believe what you hear on TV. Don't believe much of what you hear anywhere. And I'm putting myself on the line telling you the truth. And I'm accountable to God alone. Not anyone else. So if I'm lying to you, I'm lying to God. All right, people. Till next time, Tommy Hawksblood here. I hope you got something out of today. Text me, email me, Hawksblood1, HAWKSBLOOD1 at AOL.com. Till next time.